Welcome to the game of life, a space where we learn to navigate life a little better one step at a time. As we navigate life, facing invisible battle is one of the most challenging inner work we must do. And the reality is we can run from them, but we are stuck no matter where we go. These are the inner battles like depression, sadness, grief, worries, anxiety, and fear, which is one of our biggest opponents we must face. Let's dive in deeper into understanding fear and how it can impact our life. On a daily basis or occasionally, we are faced with many types of fear, like the fear of being judged, rejected, not being heard and seen, fear of being seen for who we truly are, the fear of not belonging, fear of being vulnerable, fear of losing or winning. While this fear can be very valid for various reasons, it is different for each person. And the reality is that it can be a major setback in our life, right? Unless we gather courage and trust to take positive action. First, when we are trapped by fear, we are unable to see clearly, make good decisions that can help us grow and do better. Therefore, we should ask ourselves if the pain and suffering of facing our fear is higher than the cost of staying where we are, because the answer is more likely always a yes. It is more costly to stay in fear. Why should we face our fear? Not facing our fear can hinder our growth in many ways, prevent us from being seen and from pursuing our goal and aspiration in life. Imagine yourself trapped in a job you do not like just because you fear going after something new, pursuing your dream, trying to please others, while the only person left in regret is you. We must remember that we have only one life and we must choose to live it happily and free from unnecessary suffering and pain, because when we stay in fear we really cannot have a fulfilling life. Dealing with fear prevents us from showing us truly in life and make us constantly thinking about how we can present ourselves to others and how they are perceiving us. We even plan about what others are going to say or behave. We spend so much time planning to get good things, avoid facing uncertainty, while we could only redirect our focus in just being ourselves. Fear can also prevent us from living authentically, from connecting with the right people in our life, because we are not presenting our true self to others. And this can only result in painful situations, because while others see us in one way, we deeply know that we are somebody different inside, and that is not a good place to be. Fear can also cause imbalance in our well-being, which can result in unhappiness. Therefore, choosing to present ourselves as who we truly are is more beneficial to move through life. Then we do not have to be in fear of being seen differently, worrying about judgment because we just ourselves. Yes, fear is real, and we all have been through it in some way, form, or shape, and we certainly continue to face it. But we need to be discerning of when fear can hinder us from navigating our life and from living the life we can create for ourselves. Another reason why we should face our fear is that we can become more vulnerable to outside events, people, and places that can keep triggering this fear in us and can even weaponize it against us. For instance, if you are letting other people's opinion or fear of judgment prevent you from trying something new or change something about yourself, you will continue to be triggered until you face that fear or insecurity within yourself and believe in yourself to rely on your self-approval rather than outside validation. Fear can also turn to resentment toward ourselves and others because of our inaction toward our goal. When we see other people gaining courage to take action toward what they want, but we feel unable to do so, result in an unhealthy feeling. But if we choose to try to pursue a goal or interest, even when we are afraid or may not succeed, the mere idea of taking action can be rewarding and break the need to feel resent. Let's think about this by looking at jealousy, for instance. If everyone is focused on taking action toward what they want in life, many of us may have no need to be jealous of anyone because we are doing our part hard as what is feel right in our own life. We only become resentment and unhappy when we are not doing what is right for us. Therefore, choosing today to start small action toward our goal and interest, to face the fear and combat the fear within us, and see, open up ourselves to a mindset shift in ourselves. It can also cause us to compare ourselves to others without understanding why. Because the truth is, each person is on their journey and is very different from others. And comparing yourself to others only hinder our own growth. Nothing wrong with admiring others or getting inspiration from them, but when we wish to lose sight of our own journey because we fear somebody else is doing better or for any other reason, we really have to look inside and understand why. As we can see here, the fear do not hold any merit because we will never know our potential, meet our goal if we do not take action toward them. Because sadly, many of us refrain from taking action toward our goal because we feel like we can be this or that. We will not take a chance or a leap of faith towards something we really enjoy, or because somebody else have already done it, we may not want to look bad by trying to do it. But the thing is that everybody learns from somebody. Everybody learns something that most likely have been done before. So why hold up for learning something that you feel may be worthwhile for you? So now, letting the fear of comparison hold you not helpful for anyone. Remember that comparing yourself to somebody else do not make sense or it's not helpful. Because we really can try, right, to compare to others, but the true essence of who we are or what they are cannot be changed or cannot be replicated. And that's why we have to find our inner self by really facing the fear that are prevented from showing ourselves truly out. Another thing is the comparison thing is draining for our energy, our time, our well-being, and cloud our judgment. Furthermore, another thing we have to realize is that fear is often masked behind many excuses we make. Until we stop and reflect and see the truth behind it, we start to understand that we probably are only fooling ourselves because we know deep down we know maybe holding us back. This is how inner battle also we face can also trap us because we try to not to have excuses and we're unable to understand why things do not go the way we want because we are not taking the right action to move forward. But we must slowly learn to be aware of this trap so we can navigate life with meaning and intention. Being trapped by fear or unhealthy, if we do not address it, it can rob us from joy, happiness, our potential, and from helping ourselves and others. So how can we face our fear? Anyone who has faced any type of fear will agree that it is hard and challenging. When done with small steps, practice and believe in oneself and our inner strength, we can overcome or improve it. Not every fear needs to be faced. For instance, jumping off a plane will certainly not make much change in your life. But pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and going to network with like-minded people can certainly help you grow and maybe provide you with opportunity you wouldn't get if you have not taken that action. Or feeling that others may not like you, but deep down you know that you are not showing yourself big can bring us awareness. Because if we face the fear to be authentic and others reject us, then at least we know that we are not connecting with the right people. Attention and effort has to come from us willing to take action, whatever small, and start facing fear. Sometimes we are not willing to make the changes or resist it. Therefore, life can force us to go through circumstances force us to face our fear. Because when we think about it, quite often we want to improve our life, but action and attitude do not match what we want. And as such, the universe may step in to give us a little push to get us out of our own way. This is very common for many of us, where we resist change or refrain from taking action for so long that when we are forced to face challenges, we end up on the other side of fear without even realizing that all along this is exactly where we're trying to go, but we're so afraid to take action. But the universe makes something happen that gave us no choice but to throw through the fear. This is another way to face our fear. Take intentional action or let the universe push us, and it may not always be pleasant or we may not be ready for it. Finally, we must remember that fear is a learned behavior from our experiences, background, and belief, but courage is choice. And we can choose to try to face our fear, and the worst case that we can learn something from it. Therefore, just like we learned to fear, we can learn to face it as well. And more likely, we can meet other people on the similar journey who can support our journey. Because a lot of the time, we think that we are the only one facing a certain situation until we take the courage to either express it or take action toward improving, changing, and then door open where we connect with like-minded people or people who can support us or are on the similar journey, and we can help each other in that process. So finally, fear can cloud our judgment and make us unable to navigate life with confidence and clarity in our action. It can make us fear to face challenges because our mind is clouded by uncertainty instead of choosing to trust ourselves and the universe. We can choose to trade fear for faith and trust in ourselves. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please give it a like, subscribe, and share.